What's going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Q&A session where today, guys, we have lots of awesome Dragon Ball questions to go through. So in case you guys have any sort of Dragon Ball question to ask me, drop your comments down below, guys. Again, thank you all for watching as you always do. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Dragon Ball daily uploads alongside many other videos. And without wasting any time, guys, let's go ahead and begin with our very first question. Keep in mind, I get lots of questions, so if your question does not get answered, that's okay. So as long as the support continues in the Q&A sessions, the more I will do. So again, guys, thank you all for watching. Let's begin with our very first question, which is from iRockJs82. Hey Alex, I just want to say that you are the best Dragon Ball YouTuber for reasons being of a nice person you are. Thank you to your subscribers and the uniqueness that you bring to your videos. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Please notice this and please answer this in your video. If you can't or don't see it, then that's okay too. Well, I see it now. So question number one, with everyone finding out about Zamasu and Black fusing, do you think that Goku and Vegeta will be forced to do the same thing, or will they fall short of defeating Zamasu's fusion? Question number two, would you rather have Beerus fight Zamasu's fusion or Vegeta or Gogeta? You can't pick both. Question number three, how strong will Black's and Zamasu's fusion truly be? Well, thank you for the question, iRockJs. Now, in my personal opinion, after finding out that Black and Zamasu fuse, I think at this point it's safe to say that neither Goku or Vegeta separately could harness the power to defeat such a fusion. I think very similar to Gohan, if there was ever a time for them to actually join forces, this would be the perfect time. Will they fall short? I think so. I think that from the get-go, they're going to try to attack separately as they've always done before. And I think that the fusion culmination of Zamasu and Black, which is ultimately two Zamasus, I think that it'll prove to be a little too much for Goku and Vegeta at first. Now, that's the thing. It's like it's hindered that Goku and Vegeta are going to be fusing, but again, we're not entirely too sure. I wasn't sold on the idea. I mean, I told you guys many months ago that if there was ever a time for there to be a fusion between Goku and Vegeta, this would be the perfect time because they're going out. I mean, they're going up against not just one, but two enemies, and they're both really, really strong. I mean, there's no doubting that. A lot of people are going to say, well, they're not that strong. Have you guys not seen what happened during Dragon Ball Super Episode 57 or Dragon Ball Super Episode 61 when they all fought Goku and Black and Zamasu and they failed miserably. Vegeta got stabbed in the beginning, then we see Goku get stabbed, then we see Goku get blown out of the sky miserably, then we see Trunks get blown out of the sky once again by getting shot through the abdominals before he transforms. So this has been a grueling situation for all of them. You know what I'm saying? It's really undoubtable that that they're not going to be using fusion, because at this point I think that if there was ever a time to use fusion, this would be the perfect time because they're put in a desperate situation. They have no other alternative but to do this just for the sake of protection. So I think that yes, in the beginning they will fall short, but then after that it just remains to be seen, because I would love to see Vegeta, but then again you have to ask yourself, it's like, where would they get the earrings? Or even Gogeta, but how are they going to do the fusion dance when Vegeta doesn't know the fusion dance? Now, here's the thing, guys. A lot of you guys have been bugging me about, oh, Vegeta does know the fusion dance. Vegeta does not know the fusion dance. The Janemba movie is non-canon, which ultimately enough, that means that the movie doesn't really count. It doesn't tie in with the continuity of Akira Toriyama's main story, which means that ultimately enough, that even though Vegeta learned the fusion during that movie, it doesn't mean anything because the movie is non-canon. So how was he supposed to know the fusion dance if he never learned it? You get what I'm saying? There is a high possible chance, similar to Dragon Ball GT, that Goku might go ahead and take Vegeta to a secluded place and he might teach him there. Very similar to how the Shadow Dragon Omega Shenron was chasing them when he was trying to learn it. But at this point in the game, I think that fusion ought to be introduced. But you have to ask yourself, it's like, which fusion? Like, let's say, for example, fusion was confirmed, but they didn't really tell us as to which one. It's like, which one would you guys want to see? Which one do you guys would think would actually make the most sense, I think having Vegeta, step in the mix would be great, because Vegeta never really had, someone push him to his limit. So I think that the fusion of Zamasu and Black ought to be that. But then again, it's like, you have to ask yourself, it's like, will the immortality, ability be retained with Zamasu as he fuses? In which case, I do think so. So even if Vegeta proves to be head and shoulders stronger than the fusion of Zamasu and Black, Zamasu and Black can't die, because if they're put together, especially with one of them having immortality, it's like, how do you defeat them? Now, to answer your second question, would you rather see Vegeta or Gogeta fight, or Beerus? That is a very good question, and I can't pick both, obviously. For some reason, there's a part of me that really wants to see the God of Destruction fight, because Beerus at this point hasn't really done anything outside of Battle of Gods and anything outside of fighting Goku in the Monaka suit, so I think I would lean a little towards Beerus. But then again, having to think about Vegeta and Gogeta and how awesome they are as fusions, and to see them gradually get in there and, you know, really test their powers out against such a being, that would be good too. So there's a part of me that's leaning more towards Beerus, but then there's another part of me that's leaning more towards Vegeta. But in the end, if I had to choose, I think I'm leaning a little bit towards Beerus on this one, because Beerus just seems like the type of person that would welcome the challenge, but then again, he's the god of destruction, so it makes more sense for him to clean up Zamasu's mess after pretty much killing off all the Kais, after pretty much ruining the future. So I'm going to have to lean more towards Beerus. But again, if you guys disagree with any of my comments, just let me know down below. And to answer your final question, how strong will the fusion between Black and Zamasu truly be? I personally think that it'll be way stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, because if they're using the Potaras, that's going to give them a huge boost. So I think that Black and Zamasu's fusion, having to combine the powers of Black, who's harnessed in the powers of Goku, and the immortality of Zamasu, and Zamasu's supposed to be like a prodigy fighter, so combining that makes for a very strong fusion. Is he stronger than the Omni King? No. Is he stronger than, you know, the Grand Priest? No. Is he stronger than Whis or Vadus? No. Is he stronger than Beerus? I mean, he could be like somewhere around his level, maybe, if anything. Is he stronger than Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks? Yeah. Would they be stronger than Goku and Vegeta's fusion? That remains to be seen. I really doubt that, but all in all, if I were to put Zamasu's fusion against all three of them, I think that Zamasu's fusion would easily win. Easy pickings. No challenge at all. So I think at the end of the day, I think that Black and Zamasu's fusion would far exceed the standard Super Saiyan Blue. Not unless, of course, even if Goku unleashed Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10, I still think this fusion would be a lot stronger, and it probably wouldn't do much. But at the end of the day, would it be, you know, superseding the Omni King or any of that? No. But would it be superseding our current characters? Yes. But in terms of, like, how long, you know, we're gonna, you know, get to witness this fusion in action is unknown. But I think that this fusion is gonna be really strong, like immensely powerful. Like, even if all three of these dudes attack the fusion, they would still fail. So, but anyways, Mr. IRockJace, thank you for your questions, my friend, and I hope you have a blessed day, bro. Now, moving on to the next question, which is from Vabihav. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I do not know how to pronounce that, bro. I have some questions. Question number 1, do you think Kid Buu could truly stand up to any of the main Dragon Ball Super characters? Question 2, do you agree with the theory that Goku uses the Omni King's button as a last stand? Question number 3, seeing as they revived Frieza in Dragon Ball Super, do you think there could be any other revivals of any older enemies such as Cell or Majin Buu? I love your content and I hope you can find some time to answer these questions. Thank you so much, my friend. Well, to answer your first question, people tend to forget how strong Kid Buu truly was, and even if he wasn't that strong compared to some of the characters now, you guys are completely forgetting that he's able to absorb people. So I think that yes, Kid Buu could stand up against Botamo, Magetta, Frost, Kabe, but in terms of Kid Buu versus Hit, in terms of Kid Buu versus Goku Black, in terms of Kid Buu versus the current Goku and Vegeta, in terms of Kid Buu possibly going up against, you know, Beerus, I think Kid Buu loses in all of those fields. However, having Kid Buu versus Zamasu, current Zamasu, not the immortal Zamasu, the one that we saw in the past, I think Kid Buu wins. Kid Buu is just on a different level, because sometimes he would fight just for the sake of, like, boredom, but then there were times where we saw him just completely annihilate everything. Like, he just did not care. So having Kid Buu fight someone like Zamasu, I think he would win. Even if Zamasu had the upper hand, Kid Buu absorbs. Kid Buu versus Future Trunks, Super Saiyan 2, that would have been a epic fight. That would have been the perfect fight. But at the end of the day, seeing as how Kid Buu's stamina was pretty much unlimited as he was fighting Goku. Goku was pretty durable during Dragon Ball Z, but Goku kept saying, you know, how does he keep it up? You know, his stamina is just like, he can keep going on forever. We didn't see Kid Buu get tired at all. Like, go back and watch that fight. You know, there was not one moment where Kid Buu was tired out. Kid Buu kept going. Kid Buu was just laughing. Kid Buu was a psychopath. So, Kid Buu versus Future Trunks, I think Kid Buu wins. Even pairing up Kid Buu against Hit or Kid Buu against Goku Black. If Kid Buu's losing, in which case he would, I can definitely see Kid Buu using the absorption technique as a last resort, thus, you know, absorbing Hit, absorbing Goku Black, potentially trying to absorb Vegeta and Goku and stuff. But unless, of course, they take him out right from the start, I think he would definitely use the absorption technique to his advantage. Now, to answer your second question, the theory of Goku using the Omni King's button, it's not irrational or, you know, crazy to think that he might, you know, use it, but I think that there is no reason for Goku to use it because Goku had never been a person to ask for anyone's help aside from asking Vegeta to fuse with him and aside from asking his friends for energy. Goku was never the one, aside from Gohan, aside from that fight with Gohan and Cell, he was never the one to truly ask anyone to fight his battles for him. Goku at that time, when Gohan was there, he wanted Earth to have a new hero, he wanted to give his son a shot, and he knew he was beaten, but he just knew in his heart of hearts that also Gohan had possessed the power that he did not at the time. So, in terms of Goku asking the Omni King to pretty much come in and just help them out, I don't think that's Goku-like at all, so I don't think he's going to be pressing the button. What I do think may happen if the button is pressed, I think that the fusion of Zamasu and Black are going to be the ones to press that button because they're going to think, oh well, alright, you're planning on going back into the past again, not this time, like this is your end, and they'll be thinking like, alright, if I press this, I'll just ultimately have the time machine in front of me, and that's that, but then the Omni King shows up, so, but I don't agree with the theory that Goku's going to use the button to summon the Omni King, because if that happens, we already know the end result, that the Omni King is going to completely erase the fusion of Black and Zamasu. And to answer your final question, seeing as how they revived Frieza, you're asking if there are going to be any more revivals of old enemies. My question to you is, how and why would anyone want to, you know, just resurrect Majin Buu or Cell? First of all, no one outside of Earth really knows of Cell, to be honest. Cell was primarily a Earth villain, and he wasn't really known outside of the universe. So for anybody out there to get whiff of Cell would be really hard, because how would they even know of Cell in the first place without having to travel to Earth during that time? But Majin Buu is another one, but then again, Majin Buu is already on Earth, so he's not really dead. If you're talking about Kid Buu, why would anybody want to resurrect a psychopathic monster? It's like, why would you want to resurrect a maniac? But even if that were the case, even if Cell came back, if Buu came back, I don't think that Goku and Vegeta would go unnoticed of this, and I think that they would definitely catch on as to what's going on, unless of course they're outside of Earth and they're training with Whis or Beerus. But in all likelihood, if there was ever a person to come back that I would want to see, I would definitely want Cell to come back. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a blessed day, bro. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Devon. What's up, Alex? You are by far and have been my favorite YouTuber for the last 3 years now. Thank you, man. Wow. 3 years is a long-ass time, bro. Not only do you share my interest in Dragon Ball Z, but WWE and horror as well. That's awesome, bro. Really means a lot that we share like the same ideas. But enough of that. Let me get on to the questions. Question number 1. Which DBS plot hole is the worst to you? Mine would definitely be Future Trunks fighting on par with Zamasu and Black. Oh boy. Man, we're gonna be getting into like a huge discussion here. Question number 2, which GT saga was your favorite if you had one? Question number 3, who is your favorite non-Saiyan Z warrior? Question 4, favorite super villain thus far? Question 5, favorite super fight thus far? That is it for now, man. I hope you continue with your greatness on your channel. Peace! Thank you so much, my friend. Now, which Dragon Ball Super plot hole was the worst for me? Alright, so since you're picking Trunks fighting on par with Zamasu and Black, my little plot hole would have to be, and keep in mind there are many of them, would have to be, or at least one of them are, Beerus. Is Beerus a good guy or a bad guy? Now, I mean, when Goku asked King Kai about whether or not he was a good guy or a bad guy, King Kai just replied by saying he's the destroyer god. So that really, that doesn't say much to us, because he is, at least as of right now, on the neutral side of things. He could easily become an enemy if you piss him off, and that's what's unique about Beerus, because if you don't give him what he wants, if you don't cater to his wishes, he will undoubtedly become your enemy. And they never really specified if he was a good guy or not, because keep in mind, Beerus doesn't really side with anyone. He is just the destroyer god. So I think it's a little bit of a plot hole to not explain further as to like what he truly is, because can you guys imagine if he actually becomes like the enemy, hypothetically speaking? You know, once Dragon Ball Super nears its end, like he challenges Goku and he's like, listen Goku, like if you don't, you know, if you don't do as I say, I'm gonna just destroy your planet. So that would be crazy stuff. Another inconsistency I think in Dragon Ball Super as of right now, in which they're not explaining, is how strong this Super Saiyan Rose form actually is to Black, because although he is at a fairly high level, they still haven't really elaborated as to where he stands in terms of power. So I would have to say, like, definitely, I mean, that's definitely a plot hole, because once he transformed into a Super Saiyan Rose, all he pretty much said was, behold my beauty, you know, this is the pinnacle of Goku's power and stuff, but he hasn't really explained as to, like, you know, like where he stands in terms of, like, comparing himself to Super Saiyan Blue or, like, any of that. So I mean, those would have to be, like, 2 as of right now that I can just think about on top of my head. But I'm pretty sure that there's a lot more, because Dragon Ball Super has been filled with plot holes. Some of which we can go on ahead and try to cover up, and others are just way too big. To answer your second question, my favorite GT saga was probably the Baby Saga, because of the overall backstory and the introduction of Super Saiyan 4. To answer your third question, my favorite non-Saiyan Z warrior is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, Piccolo. To answer your fourth question, obviously his favorite super villain as of right now is Goku Black, followed by Zamasu. Those two as a pair is just amazing. Black is my favorite Dragon Ball Super villain, probably, you know, out of the entire series. I mean, if I had to compare Black to anybody else, I would put him right next to Frieza in terms of being my favorite villains. But as of right now, Goku Black is definitely number one for Dragon Ball Super. Not unless, of course, they introduce another, you know, villain, like, as we progress throughout the arcs. But in terms of, like, right now, Goku Black is my guy. And to answer your final question, favorite fight so far, okay, well, the Goku versus Hit fight was really good. Although it was, you know, it wasn't really dragged on as long as we wanted it to be. It was still pretty awesome to see the Kamehameha, you know, burst through the dome, and we saw them, like, pretty much go all out, the Toki Tobashi versus Super Saiyan Blue. So I'm going to have to say that was definitely up there. We haven't really seen Black fight, like, you know, throughout the duration of, like, an entire episode leading into, like, another episode, as we did with Hit and Goku. So I'm gonna have to say Hit versus Goku, but definitely Black versus Trunks is up there. Black versus Goku's up there. Zamasu and Black versus Trunks and Goku is definitely up there as well. It's kind of hard to say as of right now, but if I had to narrow it down to, like, 2 fights, I would have to say Goku versus Hit, and Black and Zamasu versus Goku and Trunks. So anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a wonderful day, bro. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this edition of Dragon Ball Q&A. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you guys finger that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome daily content. If you guys have any sort of questions of your own to ask me, comment them down below. And of course, as you guys can see on your screen, in case you guys haven't already done so, go on ahead and subscribe and check out my vlogging channel, which is Unreal Vlogs, in which case I bring you guys on board onto my personal life, and you guys will see a whole bunch of awesome stuff on there that you guys will not get to find on here. So again, I thank you all for your support. If you guys have any sort of opinions of your own to, you know, pretty much elaborate on, just go ahead and list them down below. Thank you all for watching, guys, as always, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace.